Well, it has 3 light sensors, and
where are they? There's one down here, yeah.
There's one down there. There's another one down here, and there's one on the stick here.
Yeah.
And when it started up, it gets a natural ambient light value, and it compares the incoming light towards LDRs with the natural value. So if it gets brighter, then it gets disturbed, and if the disturbance level gets above a certain point, it will drop its first bomb, and then it will wait for a small time, and then it will try to drop its second bomb if the disturbance level still rises.
Okay.
So it tries to eliminate the incoming light by dropping some light.
Great. Okay. Let's go around in a circle. Let's talk about the robot fish. I don't know what it is now. Like I don't know, it looks like something. I don't know what it looks like actually. So tell everyone, whoever from the group, about what you guys try to do, what you have planned.
We try to make an object that would respond to light that it would try to participate, but its personality is sort of it overreacts. So it would become very happy, drive towards any sort of light, and then go totally crazy, confusing everyone by screaming out loud and flashing with these big headlights. But somehow we managed to screw it up, and so now it does nothing. So it kind of overreacts. Anyway, yeah.
It just doesn't care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. No, they're not in place right now. So.
If you want to hear the sounds, you can come to me.
Okay. Next up, I think, is probably our distributed. What are these, horses and flowers?
Well, it basically is some sort of a distributed thing. It has one mind which sort of controls all the things, but each thing has its own thing, its own behavior a little bit. That thing over there is a sensor, and it searches for light. The problem is, and we just discovered that it doesn't work, and that's because it has three sensors, and it searches where the highest light value is. But all the light values and all the sensors are the same, so it just thinks that the light is in front of him.
Oh, so actually it's electrical. It's not actually.
Well, it should work.
Well, it should work. There are 2 separate sensors, but probably they're somehow screwed up here because this isn't very.
Okay.
Well, actually, there are 4 behaviors. This is behavior number 1, and I'm not going to explain what everything should do, but we can set one behavior 2, behavior 3, and behavior 4.
Right.
These are just light emitting things, and they also have a light sensor in them, and it should do all kind of things based on the sensors over there and over there. And this is just the thing that moves around, and it should blink based on the sensor input of the others, and the speed should vary.
But we don't know right now if these are sensing or not.
Not
We're
really.
not sure.
We could check some.
Oh, that's flashing.
Yeah, that's because. Nothing. It just pretty much doesn't work. But the idea is beautiful.
Okay. Very good. What's up next?
Where's the bouncing?
Can we change the...
Where's the bouncing?
Yeah, sure. You can place it wherever you want, as long as the wires are long enough.
It's moving.
Light source? Have we got any bicycle lights on you?
Yeah, they have the line.
Do you want to use your bicycle lights? Yeah, There we go.
Ja, maar misschien...
Yeah, because
Ja, because the idea was that we would do the other also.
has red lights.
It's the red and white lights, and the speed of the servo is controlled by sensor input of one sensor, and to determine which light should be on is also done by sensor input, and the behavior is determined by the total of all LDR input. So that now it's finding that there's not enough light for him to perform a dance, so he decides to go to relax mode. And also in this mode, the speed of the servo motor and the amount of degree smoothing is also determined by sensor. Now somehow it decides that it's light enough so it performs a dance. There's also a firm behavior, but I didn't really. I add a value for patience, and the patience would drop, and if it would become below a certain level, it would just go flashing and dashing and going all around. So, but it didn't. It's hard to predict when that's happening.
Next up, how about we do our where are we? Where are you guys?
This one here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this one moves up and down depending on how close you are to it. Even though it seems to reset itself every now and then, we're not completely sure why.
It's actually, it is retracting, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Massive attack.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit slow, and you can move your hand away, and you can just set a target by getting in position. And depending on the height, it responds differently to the sense. It has two sensors, and what it does with those sensors depends on the height.
Okay. What about the lights? How do they change?
Well, depending on the two inputs, there are 4 possibilities, and the lights. There are 3 lights, so there's 8 possibilities with the lights.
Okay.
And depending on the height, there are 4 different programs you can use to play with those.
Okay. There's one behavior at that particular height, correct?
Yeah.
Oops.
Hij flitst nu ook niet meer, hè? Heb je kortsluiting?
Okay. So
If we were to get it way up.
Oh, yeah, it's changing behaviors.
There's one sensor on this side.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, how about the temple?
The temple, the triangle, or the prism. Was sort of we thought of it as a prism, so it could split light or it could combine light. So it has 2 light sensors and 3 outputs, and it has different modes. In those different modes, it does different things depending on the 2 inputs, and it switches between modes with the motion sensor. So if you move it, it switches to another mode, quite quickly switching. It was designed so you could put it in between 2 other objects, so it would transmit light in a weird way and maybe screw up the connection or make a connection between the 2 other objects. We wanted to make 3, but we only could get 1.
Actually, we were able to make 2 working,
Yeah.
but when the
We're going to have
battery
batteries for the other one.
Okay. I told you if you give me another 30 seconds, you still wouldn't have it working. No, not you. Guys, see here now.
The
Still
servo
trying to
was
fix it.
connected to the wrong slot, but it's still not working.
Don't worry, tell us about it.
Well, this is the eye of the beast, and it has 5 sensors, and it tries to point itself at some blinking lights. So the turning works. So if the light's over here, then not anymore. It should turn, and it could also move like this. And when it's aimed directly at the light, it starts recording like this. You see the red light record, and when it's recorded it will replay the sequence.
Oh, cool.
And we also made these these wires through the tentacles, and they shoot move like this.
Well, no time to fix it.
No time. one more hour.
It's always more time. No, that's excellent. That's a really good job. I think I should be self-around, of course.